How's it going, everybody? So in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my own experience with red Panax ginseng. So for the last probably around 9 months, I've been taking red Panax ginseng almost every single day consistently. I had actually taken maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks or so off here and there just to kind of see what happens with and without it, but relatively consistently, almost every single day in the last 9 months, I've been taking red Panax ginseng. The specific kind that I've been taking is a high quality, just a root powder, dried root powder that is actually coming from a company out of Wisconsin who sells the actual like ginseng roots. They also sell American ginseng, and they actually they grow it all on their own farm, which you can actually visit and view real live photos and pictures and videos from. Now, these were 6-year-old roots, according to the company. It's not a concentrated extract or anything like that, but I've actually found these roots to be very high quality for the amount of time that they've been aged or whatever, 6 years. And I've had a lot of friends of mine that are actually kind of like experts and very familiar with ginseng products. And out of any kind of ginseng product you're going to find on the market, because it's very, very hard to find, especially affordable ginseng products that are high quality. These ones were definitely like the best deal you can get without spending a ton of money and still being kind of iffy about the quality. So the way that I would consume it every single day is I would make extremely hot coffee, and I would put the ginseng powder, about actually a half a teaspoon was a dose that I kind of eventually started running with, and blend it in a blender before I add anything else, because it's just a dry root powder. It's not an extract, and so it needs to be made into some kind of tea. And so blending it with really hot water is the best way, in my opinion, to extract the saponins and the ginsenosides and stuff like that without needing to spend excessive amounts of time making a concoction, which is a traditional method of making kind of like a long brewed in a slow cooker tea type of thing. So anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty. What are the things I experienced doing this? And keep in mind, I was taking it with a wide variety of other herbs that I kind of mix and match, but I did experiments with just the ginseng for a while too. And I know what it feels like to be on the ginseng and to be off the ginseng as well. Most of the herbs that I took on the side of it are herbs that are traditionally used to enhance its powers. Things like Polyrhacus black ant and astragalus, for just to name a few, as well as cordyceps. So these are traditional Chinese herbs that are usually taken with ginseng to make it more powerful and potent. So anyway, some of the things I notice that the ginseng definitely improves or definitely engages in. So the very first thing I started to notice was that, and this is when I took a whole teaspoon of it, like way too much, my mind was just all over the place. Like I could not think straight. My mind just sped up tremendously. Normally my mind would be pretty fast by itself. The ginseng seemed to speed it up 5 to 10 times. And so normally I'd be able to sit in my college classes and feel pretty calm and relaxed and be able to concentrate. But when I took a large amount of the ginseng powder, when I first started, I was sweating, I was anxious, I couldn't focus to save the life of me. My mind was just going out of control because the ginseng seemed to increase my mental power way too much, way too soon. Now, the thing is, when I reduced the dose down to about 1/4 of a teaspoon and just took the small dose over another 3 to 4 weeks, my body started to get used to the ginseng. I was able to increase the dose up to 1/2 teaspoon, and it did not make my mind too crazy. So a lot of it is kind of working your way up slowly and taking the right dose. but it definitely isn't this like anti-stress herb the way other people make it out to be. It can actually make you more anxious and more stressed and way too energized if you take too much too soon. So, but after the first 4 weeks or so at a low dose, I found that a half a teaspoon was like the good dose for me. And so after the first 4 weeks and I found the right dose, when my body kind of got acclimated to it, some of the things that I noticed that were standard and stayed with me the rest of the year that I was taking it is that it does still kind of like increase my mental energy. It makes my mind go faster. It makes me have more like mental energy in general. It seems to increase my body temperature. I had a tendency to sweat more, to be more heated and warm. I remember when I go to jiu-jitsu and I just start the warm-up where we'd be jogging and stuff, my body was already warm. My body was always warm. But like, when I do activity and stuff, I didn't seem to need to take that long to like kind of warm up, basically. It was very warming, just like it says in traditional Chinese texts. And so a greater blood circulation and all those types of things. Another thing is I was substantially hungrier than without it. Before I started taking ginseng, I could fast all day up until the 20-hour mark, where I would usually have like 2 pounds of meat and a bunch of other food, right? But when I was taking ginseng, I would immediately become ravenous, like uncontrollably hungry, about 2 or 3 hours after taking it. And I did notice, taking it with a pretty decent bolus of like honey or something would help offset the effects. But even honey and protein powder, or even a meal, like I felt hungry all the time. And I actually had a client who was also taking the ginseng, and he noticed the same thing. He said he would wake up in the middle of the night extremely hungry and not be able to go back to sleep. So the hunger is a really, really big aspect of it. It definitely makes you more hungry. And again, this is something that is mentioned in traditional Chinese medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, ginseng was given to people who were really, really weak to increase their appetite, increase the absorption and stuff of the nutrients, and to make their body literally like rebuild itself. People who have cancer whose appetite is really, really low, it increases their appetite so they can eat the nutrients they need to recover, basically. And athletes would take it too, to increase their performance. Largely, it's seen as a building herb. It makes you want to eat more. Okay? So people who promote ginseng for weight loss, maybe a different form of ginseng, but definitely not red Panax or Korean ginseng. Chinese and Korean ginseng not meant for weight loss, I'll tell you that. Because whatever like metabolic burning of calories and increase you might get from it is offset by how hungry you fucking are. It's insane. And so if I didn't eat, I'd also feel relatively low on energy, even though my brain's going crazy and I'm like hot. So I just don't, it's not something you want to take if you're not willing to eat the food. But if you eat a lot of food with it, I think the energy production benefits are amazing. So people with digestive problems might be helped by ginseng because I think it speeds up the production of digestive fluids. So there's that. Now I'll tell you the number one biggest benefit that I experienced from taking the red Panax ginseng is I was never sore from exercise. So I went through a period of time where I was actually doing the Bulgarian method of training, where I'm doing powerlifting and jiu-jitsu at the same time. I was squatting, bench pressing, strict overhead pressing, and deadlifting every single day. And I was doing a 1 rep max, and then I was doing multiple sets close to my 1 rep max every single day on top of jiu-jitsu. And I was never sore, and I was always wanting more. The other thing, though, is no matter how little sleep I got, I always felt energized and ready to train. So it was it was allowing me to do some crazy things with my training and physical activity that I wasn't able to do otherwise. And something I notice every time, when I remove the ginseng, my body would start to get sore again. Okay? So it's been documented in the scientific literature that red Panax ginseng, Asian ginseng, Chinese ginseng, Korean ginseng seems to have very potent anti-inflammatory benefits. And there were actual trials where it showed a significant reduction in the perception of soreness after training and exercise. And that's one of the main reasons why athletes like to use it. And I've noticed a correlation with my clients who have used the Asian ginseng as well, the same form I was taking, where they were able to run. One of them was really stuck out to me. He was able to run, he worked up to like 8 to 10 miles every day. Then he took a vacation and he stopped taking the ginseng, and now he could only run 4 if he was lucky. So there was other reasons why that was probably the case, and that just sounds insane. But it echoes the same thing that I noticed. Like, I just could train all the time, just push it to the limit when I was on the ginseng. Then I removed it, and it's like, what the hell? Like, no longer could I do the same thing. So, for me though, the only reason why I wouldn't keep taking it in regards to the benefit on, physical performance is because of the mental anxiety and stuff that can happen with the, if it goes out of control. I'm thinking about taking 1/4 of a teaspoon though every day to try to get the benefits without the side effects, and it'll last longer too. So another noticeable effect that I think I got from the ginseng, but I'm not sure, is I think it improved my sleep after a while. So it was kind of a hit or miss. It looked like maybe it was contributing to insomnia for a while. But I did notice a greater quality of sleep, provided I was eating enough salt and everything else. So, very, very interesting. I do recommend, if you're looking to trying it, definitely get this brand. It was by Dairyland Management LLC. The package is like a white and red, kind of like little paper type plastic package. They sell American ginseng and Asian ginseng. I have some of their American ginseng, tried it for a while, but I haven't really stuck to it. So I'm going to give that a go here in a while after my current experiment. And then I'll get back to y'all on the American ginseng. I recommend their Panax Red Ginseng. And I recommend not wasting your money on any other product because it's just hard to find good products for ginseng. And this one I know is real and legit. And just give it like a month and just understand, like, at first it might be a little rough, but after a while it should kind of be beneficial. And, you'll get used to it. So let me know in the comments, have you tried ginseng? What do you think about my experience? And what brands have you tried and with what experiences? And are you planning on trying this ginseng? What kind of experiments are you going to try with this? And I'll talk to y'all next time.